One of the New York Rangers' better forwards on the roster, Filip Chytil, now has the chance to possibly make a comeback for this playoff run to help out the New York Rangers. Now, there's not a guarantee, and it definitely is not a extremely likely scenario, but it does seem like there is a possibility that we could potentially see Filip Chytil back in the lineup at some point throughout this playoff run. And I think as a Rangers fan, a lot of people would agree with me that they would be a massive help for this team. Adding in a guy like this who we know can be a very good offensive player. I mean, a solid, all-around guy, but definitely the offensive game is what he's much better at than his overall defensive game. In general, he would be a great addition back to this team. His overall play is pretty solid, and the Rangers definitely could use another really good offensive talent like Hedel. Now, there's obviously no guarantee he makes the return. He's just practicing with the team, and we're going to take a look at a few quotes here, but overall, this is good news here that Filip is back skating with the team. He's been back, obviously, for the first time in a while. He originally got hurt in that Carolina game way back in October, then ended up having a setback at practice back in January. And taking a look here at what TSN reporters Darren Dreger said, he's been medically cleared and wanted to get back on the ice. No timeline for his return, and he won't be rushed. But if all goes well, he could provide a huge boost in the playoffs. And I agree with that. You definitely do not want to see a guy like Filip Chytil get rushed back at all with his injury that he's had. I mean, head injuries are definitely very, very serious, and considering he has had multiple in the past, you definitely want to make sure he is 100% good to go, and he is feeling like he's 100% good to go as well. He hasn't medically cleared, obviously, but you definitely want to make sure that he is all there and he's all ready to go, because you don't want to rush this guy back and create any more issues that could obviously affect him further on. I'm not even talking about hockey at this point, just in general with his overall life and health further down the road as well. Taking a look at a quote here from Peter Laviolette, the Rangers head coach. He says, "This player is coming back from something that is substantial," he said. "He has not been on the ice with us, and we want to make sure that he is fit and ready to play and ready to have a positive impact in the game. The fact that he's back doesn't necessarily mean he's ready for a game." And that is very true, obviously. I mean, there's no guarantee that even though he is back practicing that he is going to play in the playoffs, but it is a good sign, though, at least, that he is, at least good enough to obviously be medically cleared as well as to be practicing with the guys on the ice. And after having that pretty big setback in late January at that practice, I think this is a very good sign, the fact that he is, back with the guys in the locker room practicing, and whether he does play an actual game or not, I think this is going to be good for the chemistry and, overall morale in the locker room to have Hedel back there, around the guys, practicing, talking with them in the locker room and stuff like that. Definitely cannot hurt the team morale, and going into a long playoff run, potentially, having a guy like Hedel there just kind of, give them a nice morale boost to the guys definitely can't hurt this team at all. And one last quote here before we take a look at some potential lineup combinations we could possibly see if Hedel does return. Laviolette says, "He's at a point where he's been training and he's now able to come back and join us," said Laviolette, who quickly added, "We're not going to rush him back. Whenever he feels and the eyes on him feel that he's in a good spot, that's a different story. But right now, there's absolutely no timetable." And most of these quotes are done by Vince Mercagliano, so definitely go check out his stuff on X. He's a very good New York Rangers reporter / writer. If you haven't already, definitely I would suggest going to give him a follow. And considering the Rangers did add in a guy like Alex Wennberg at the deadline to kind of fill in that spot that obviously Filip Chytil left once he was injured, as well as it being a head injury with Filip Chytil, there's absolutely no reason to rush him back. His long-term health right now is what the priority is, so hopefully he can be fully healthy. He says he is. He feels like he is. The doctors are saying he's okay, and if that all happens, then great. He can come back and hopefully be a very big part of this team. Now taking a look at what we could possibly see for a line with Filip Chytil back on it if he does truly make the return. I think we could possibly see kind of two options here. One, Kreider, Zibanejad, and Hedel. I know a lot of people have kind of talked about that the last couple of days, and I think that would be a pretty good lineup there. It'd be interesting to see how that line truly kind of gels together, because we have seen those right wingers on that Kreider, Zibanejad line sometimes not have the best success with Kakko up there, Blake Wheeler, Roslovic. There's been a couple of the guys as well. So, does that line truly connect and actually, end up scoring a ton? We'd have to wait and see, and that'd be very interesting because Hedel's obviously a guy who has been out for quite a while now. Since October, he hasn't played a game in the NHL. So it would be interesting to see kind of how he does coming back, but I do think that could be a decent lineup there and definitely could possibly help out with that 5-on-5 scoring that Kreider, Zibanejad kind of line does have some issues with at moments. The other option here I think we could possibly see is him going kind of down to the third line there, because you're definitely not touching the line of Panarin, Trocheck, and Lafreniere. They have been too good together. They have too good of chemistry. They've been so good this season. I think they've clearly been the number one line on the Rangers, so you're not touching that line up there. So maybe he goes down to the third line there, which could be a possibility. Him centering Kakko and Cooley, which I think could be a pretty good, two-way third line there. Bit of checking, bit of two-way play there, bit of defensive play, but also a bit of scoring punch as well. And then you could have that fourth line be Gaudreau, Wenberg, and Vesey, or maybe you want to throw Brzezinski somewhere in there, or Rempe. You never know. We'll have to wait and see. But I think in general, though, this could be a decent option. Preferably, if I had to choose, I would probably pick the first option of Kreider, Zibanejad, and Hedel being the right winger there, kind of test that out. But if Hedel does make his return to the lineup, which, it'll be interesting to see whether he does or not. I obviously want to see him back, but I definitely do not want to see him be rushed back and potentially hurt himself longer term. So if he does come back, great. That will be a huge boost for this team. I see him potentially going up alongside Zibanejad and Kreider, being the right winger there, or possibly in the third line to center Cooley and Kakko. You're not going to split up that Panarin line. It has been too good, and I don't see him coming back to play in the fourth line. So we'll have to wait and see what Laviolette decides to do at the end of the day if he does make his return. Anyways, though, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. It helps out the channel a ton. Don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on Filip Chytil potentially making his return. What line do you want to see him on as well? Do you want to see him kind of go on that line with Kreider and Zibanejad? Would you rather see him on the third line? What line would you want to see him on? And also don't forget to subscribe for daily New York Rangers content. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.